Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about Stefan and Caroline and why I stopped shipping them. First, I want to talk about when I start liking them and why, and then I'm going to talk about what did go wrong. So if you want to skip the first part, you can look at the caption and I will tell you in which minute I'm done with this part. As always, I'm going to give you some warnings. The fans of Stefan and Caroline probably not going to like the second part of this video. So you may want to stop on that part. Okay, you may not believe it, but Stefan and Caroline were my first ship. I start liking them in the first episode of The Vampire Diaries. And I know the first episode didn't give us much about them, and basically it was Stefan rejecting Caroline and everything, but I liked their chemistry. I liked the fact that Caroline liked him and went for it. Okay, it was not wise, it was very childish, but she liked him and she went for it. And I liked it to see their dynamic and how this is going to go on, this story of these two. And if I want to talk about why I kept shipping them, well, in season 2, as you remember, they become really good friends and they started trusting each other and supporting each other. They were cute and their friendship was real, you know. It wasn't a foundation for a romantic relationship. It was real friendship, and that's why it was so interesting to watch. And in season 3, I liked them even more, mostly because I really started hating Stefan and Elena. Stefan was out there fighting and facing his biggest nightmare to save his brother, and his girlfriend were flirting and falling in love with each other. I thought it was a big betrayal, and I hated Stefan and Elena in that season for this, and that made me to like Stefan and Caroline, want Stefan and Caroline even more. And in season 4, they were great. They were the best, one of the best dynamics of the whole show. Okay, I know many people don't agree with me, but just don't think about them in romantic perspective. Think about them as two friends who really did everything for each other, who supported each other. So to summarize it, they were great friends. They always trusted each other. I know some people hate Caroline for this, that she shared everything with Stefan and some of Elena's secret. Okay, I agree, it was not cool, but she was trying to be a good friend for Stefan. And they were always there for each other. So I wanted to this friendship to become something better, something bigger. They had a great foundation. They were great friends, and I believe that they could be a very, very good couple. I still believe they could have been one of the best couples if the writers weren't that awful. So what went wrong? Why I stopped shipping them? Why this ship was destroyed for me? Okay, there were many reasons, but for me, the most important reason is that in the show, it was proved again and again that Stefan is never going to love Caroline in the way that he loved Elena. He's not going to love Caroline as much as he loved Elena. I mean, they tried to show it so many times. Stefan was a great boyfriend for Elena. That's one of the reasons I wanted him to be with Caroline. I wanted that such a great boyfriend, that Caroline can have such a great boyfriend. Stefan always put Elena first. He always was sure about her and their future. I don't know if you remember or not, but Candice had an interview. I think it was in season 6. You can find it on my Instagram account. That she said that Stefan was always sure about Elena, but we can't see that with Caroline. That Caroline always has to try, and I agree with her so much. Stefan was so completely in love with Elena. He always put what she wanted above everything else. We never see such a thing with Caroline. I mean, okay, look at the times that Stefan didn't have his humanity. When he was with Elena, I think it was season 3, we saw many times that Elena could reach him somehow, not completely, but she could okay, how am I going to say it? She managed to break without humanity, Stefan. But same thing never happens with Caroline. Caroline is his fiance is season 8. Okay, they should be madly in love, and she doesn't have any effect on him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I am sure you remember that how Caroline talked about that Stefan doesn't remember their first meeting, but he remembered the first time he met Elena. Also, there was other time that she said, maybe one day you start respecting me the way you respected Elena, but I'm done waiting for that day. Or another time, I'm sorry everyone, I made a mistake and had to pause the video. Okay, I hate this. Now I have to edit videos together. Okay, I was saying that how Stefan always put Elena first, how she always was sure about her, like human or vampire, he wanted to be with her. She was one true love. She was his epic love, his soulmate, something he said about Elena 2 years after she chose Damon. He still thought about Elena as his soulmate. And these were said many times that he's not going to love anyone the way he loved Elena. For example, it was said by Rebecca, it was said by Catherine, but when Stefan was supposed to be in love with Caroline, he went away. He started dating another woman, Valerie, and he went to the point that called Valerie his real life. So it was such a unfair thing that the writers did to Stefan and Caroline fans, to me at least, that they said again and again and again that Stefan and Elena is going to be always more epic than Stefan and Caroline. The other thing that really made me angry is that in every step of their relationship, Stefan needed someone to push him into Caroline's arms. Okay, in season 6, it was Enzo that told him that Caroline likes you romantically. They kissed. Don't let me start on their first kiss. I hated that. They kissed, and Stefan goes to Damon, asks about his opinion. Damon tells him it's not true love or something like that. So Stefan rejects Caroline. Then Damon gives a speech about how great Caroline is, and suddenly Stefan wants to be with Caroline. I mean, their first I love you was promoted by Stefan's mother. Liz, Caroline's mother, said that my death wish is that for Stefan to be with Caroline. I mean, if everyone around you has to push you into someone's arm, you probably don't like them on your own. So you should probably give up. Oh, this one. As you remember, I said that I loved their friendship. I thought, okay, it's going to be the foundation of their relationship and it's going to be something better, something more. But in order to become a couple, the friendship of Stefan and Caroline was destroyed. I'm not even kidding. Okay, as I said, they always trusted each other when they were friends. You can see that, you can see that when they were a couple. I mean, Stefan didn't tell Caroline about his baby with Valerie. He broke his promise for Damon, but he didn't do the same thing for Caroline. Another thing that Caroline hid her pregnancy problems from Stefan, or okay, another example, a very important example is in season 8, that when Caroline's children are in danger, she basically kicks Stefan out of her life completely. She says that no one exists besides me, Alaric, and twins. I mean, if you can't trust your partner, you shouldn't marry them. Stefan had to sell his soul so Caroline start trusting him, which completely unlike what they had as friends. Another thing, that they were always there for each other when they were friends. Stefan didn't have his memory, but he trusted Caroline, and he didn't have his memory, and he was still there for Caroline and helped her. But when they are a couple, you can't really see that. I mean, Caroline is pregnant and she's freaking out, obviously. He goes to Stefan and he runs away. That's it. This is one of the examples. Every time she's sad, he's not really there. Or for example, at the beginning of season 6, but I'm going to talk about that later. As you remember, we were introduced to Caroline as someone who wants to be the one, and she isn't. And it's not just about her romantic relationship. We saw that her mother, especially at first seasons, put her job above her. Her father is not in the picture, and even for her friends. For example, Bonnie. It's for Caroline believes that for Bonnie, she's only Elena's backup. And we also saw this in her romantic relationship. Matt doesn't really love her, and he chose his hatred towards vampire over Caroline. Tyler chose his revenge. So it was very good that we saw Caroline in a relationship with someone that puts her first, that loves her more than anything. And that person wasn't Stefan. I mean, this show went as far as telling us that Stefan never going to care about Caroline as much as he cared about Damon. And I believe it also told us that he's never going to care about Caroline as much as he cared about Elena. So Caroline is not the priority or the one in her husband's life. And I think it's something that is really damaging to the ship and to their relationship. Okay, and another thing that I really hated about Stefan and Caroline is that Stefan used every opportunity to run away from Caroline. Okay, I said this many times to different people, including Steroline fans, and they always told me that, okay, he had to run away from her because of the huntress. That is just one example. Okay, think about season 6. Stefan lost his brother and his best friend. It's huge and he's devastated. Completely understandable. And at the other hand, Caroline lost her best friend Bonnie. She's also devastated. And she is reaching out to Stefan every single day. And I think leaves her so many voicemails and everything. And Stefan just ignores her. Okay, I understand that Stefan, for some reason, can't deal with Caroline, can't be with her, can't even look at her. But isn't it too much to ask that he pick up his phone one time and tell her that I can't be with you at the moment. I can't be the friend you need at the moment. I mean, he says that he doesn't want to cry, and Caroline is someone that makes him that wants to cry or something like that. Basically, he wants to put Damon and his sadness behind him. But the thing is, he has no problem talking to Damon's best friend. He has no problem talking to Damon's girlfriend. I mean, how he's okay with talking to Elena but not Caroline? I think he just wants to not deal with her. Okay, he doesn't have the time for her. Yes, he's sad, super sad, so upset. He lost his brother, but a decent person just picks up the phone and says, I can't talk to you at the moment. I mean, this is the least thing his best friend deserves. And then he comes back to Mystic Falls. He doesn't have any problem coming back to Mystic Falls to kill Enzo. Caroline begs him to stay and he just leave. He just left. And we have another time that he goes to Caroline, dumps his girlfriend, which is turned to a vampire, on Caroline, dumps his girlfriend on Caroline and leaves again. Then we have in season 7 that Caroline tells him that she is pregnant, and again, his first reaction is to run away. Like, it's basically his, I think it's like first thought that I have a chance, I have a reason, I should leave Caroline. And again, in season 7, he leaves Caroline because of the huntress. I understand that there was no way for Stefan, Caroline, and the children to be together. But they were in a relationship. Caroline deserved a proper breakup. Caroline deserved to hear Stefan's explanation. She deserved to know why. She deserved a clear and complete breakup, not just being left behind. Something Stefan always does to her. Okay, before I'm going to talk about point number 6, I'm going to talk about something else I forgot to include it here, and is that they don't communicate. In their relationship, Stefan always did whatever he wanted. He never listened to Caroline. Yes, he did many sacrifices. He sold his soul for her children, and it's admirable and great and everything, but it doesn't justify all other times that he doesn't listen to her. I mean, in their relationship, it's like Stefan always thinks that I want this and this is best for both of us, so I'm going to just do it. He doesn't care about what Caroline wants. For example, in season 7, he drugs Caroline and kidnaps her because he wants to save her. And when Caroline is angry and talks about how he always respected Elena. He says that I respected Elena and I lost her. So I'm not going to respect you because I want you to be in my life. So it doesn't matter what you want. He always is the one that decides for their relationship. He breaks up whenever he wants. He runs away whenever he wants. There is no communication. There is no chance for Caroline to talk, to choose. It's always Stefan who does all of these things. Okay, and last point, I think it's last point, is that Stefan and Caroline were my favorite characters in Vampire Diaries. Not my favorite is going to be Lexi, but I love both of them very much. And I hated their characters when they were together. For example, one of the things I loved about Caroline was that how she was insecure and didn't really believe in herself, but she changed. She became better. She became secure and a strong person. But with Stefan, she's always insecure. She always talking about Stefan's ex-girlfriends. She talks about Valerie. She talks about Elena, like many times. And Stefan, I loved him because he was respectful and he actually listened to people, and it seems that he believes that people have a right to choose for themselves. Again, he's not like that with Caroline. He's someone who drugs a person and kidnaps her, sorry. I mean, they were nothing to each other at that moment. They were basically strangers. Caroline kind of hated him in that moment. And Stefan thought that I want her to live, so I'm going to do whatever I want. Who cares what she wants? And it was not Stefan. And I hated the ship for these two. Okay, that was it. Please tell me your opinion, and I hope you can hear me well. I did some changes, but I'm not sure if they are enough or not. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, and please support me. And also tell me if you want me to talk about something specific. See you. Bye.